Greetings and welcome back to the Osha Cerese Show. I am your host, Osha Cerese, and this is where culture meets coaching, where healing meets headlines, and where we utilize alchemy to transmute gossip into growth. So, welcome back. It's been a little bit of a hiatus now. Um, I think last week was the first 2 days that I've missed, you know, but we're here, we're back. So, welcome back. Again, I'm Osha Cerese, certified life coach, event curator. I think I'm going to change event curator to experience curator and dream doula, supporting you on your journey of birthing your ideas into reality. And we're back. So happy Monday. This is Monday, right? Happy Monday. I hope y'all had a great weekend. And I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. There's a lot going on in the world and in my life, and things are going on very rapidly. Things are coming up. People are coming into my life that maybe I haven't seen in a while. Conversations are being had, all of the things, but it's all love and it's all um, beautiful. So I am grateful for this day. I'm grateful for you all for pulling up. If you have not already done so, please mosey on over to YouTube if you're not there, if you're watching on any other platform, and subscribe to my channel. This is where the Osha Cerese Show lives. This is um, it's a weeknight, late night pop-up show. So you don't want to just subscribe. You also want to turn your notifications on because you never know when I'm going to pop up. Um, YouTube.com/at Osha Cerese, that's OSHACERESE. It's linked in my bio as well to make it easy for you. If you just so happen to be on YouTube and you're scrolling past this live video, go ahead and subscribe. Stick around. So again, thank y'all. This is episode 56. So we are celebrating an amazing episode 56. I was about to say it the other way. Drink of the night is a little bit of passion fruit juice. Or is this mango? This is mango juice. Mango juice. And we are going to toast to great health, happiness, joy, protection, forgiveness, acceptance, abundance, if I haven't said that already. The truth, as it shall set you free, and a great episode 56. So cheers. Greetings, realists. Thank you for pulling on up. Yeah, I had to take a little break on Thursday and Friday. Thursday, I really wanted to come on here. I promise you I did. It was like Thursday, I had such a long day, a lot of energy going on because y'all know the interview that I did is still going viral. So outside of everybody else's comments and things like that, just having to have conversations for those that are possibly affected by what I've talked about. So a lot of energy is going on in my life right now. Also, I was out and about running around. I had a meeting on Thursday. It went good. I'm waiting to hear back about that so I can give you all the announcements. But meetings, took my mom to a few places. She had some things to do. And I ended up being in a storm. Like my mom had an acting class on Thursday evening, and I literally watched the storm clouds roll in. I saw them roll in as the sun was going down, and then it started lightning from afar. And then the lightning started getting closer, and then the thunder, and then the rain, and then the rain got heavier, and then all of a sudden it just started coming down very heavily. Wind, hailstorm. It was a lot. And then it started flooding. So we had to drive home in a whole storm, a severe thunderstorm. Y'all know how I am about storms. So by the time I got back to the house, of course, it slacked up by then. But I was exhausted mentally, physically, and energetically. And so I made the executive decision to come back Friday, because I posted and told y'all that I was going to be coming Friday with a special show. I was going to have a guest on Friday, but a couple of things happened. For one, my guest was out and about and had some things that she had to do. And so I was like, I don't want us to be rushed. And then I had some things that I had to do because I was like, maybe we can do it early and do it before the event that I'm going to, but that wasn't possible because she was on the way doing something. Then I was like, maybe we could do a late night show after this event I'm about to go to, but I didn't want us to be rushed. So we're gonna have an episode later this week. I'll keep y'all informed about that. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna have some announcements and everything, so it's exciting. Um, so what I ended up going to, so y'all know I had a show last month or the month before, and I was talking about Jason's lyric. So we were talking about the characters in the show, the plot of the show, as well as do you believe Lyric survived at the end of the show? Because there's a debate about whether or not Lyric actually survived. So yes, we see her, spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it, but yes, we see her getting carried out. And then in the next scene, her and Jason are driving down the street, riding down the street in the bus, and she has a bandage over her shoulder. So it makes it seem as if when she was shot by Joshua, that it was a non-lethal shot and she survived and they lived happily ever after. But when you go back and watch, after she was shot, she didn't move again. Jason carried her lifeless body out of the house. He walked towards the ambulance, and her brother Alonzo, when he pulled up with Marty and they told him what happened, he was crying hysterically. So if your sister, if she survived, would they have all been crying hysterically like that? She's not moving. So I kind of think after watching it again that she didn't survive. I think that them being on the bus with the bandage on her shoulder was just like his imagination of what he would have wanted to happen. They said at the beginning of the movie he's riding down the he's in the bus with he's by himself on the bus. So it makes me wonder, I'm just irritated with this StreamYard thing because it keeps this big old sign in front of my comments and it's never done that before. But anyway, I don't know. Okay, if you want StreamYard, here's your discount code. I don't know why it wants me to sell y'all this that bad, but it's definitely in the way of my comments. But we're gonna get it together. So Rilla said, I remember the movie classic. Yes. And I don't know if y'all remember, but every winter I get into my little hibernation bag and I start rewatching all the classic films. So usually Jason Lyric is a part of that. Right. I knew you'd come. Josh, the actor that played Josh, he is good at what he does. But so yeah, so I've always liked the movie, and I saw the advertisement for the play, Jason Lyric's Live, play, musical, whichever one you want to call it, and it was coming to Atlanta this past weekend. So I've been seeing the advertisement. I'm like, that would be so good. I want to go. So last minute, I was like, let's go to the Saturday show. They had a 3:00 and an 8:00. So I was asking my mom, like, which one you want to go to? She had to check her calendar and she realized that she had a conflict of interest. She's in a upcoming movie. So she was filming all day Saturday. So at the last minute, we decided to go to the Friday 8:00 show. So it would have been me doing too much to try to have a show when I got home. I was thinking about doing it and just having a late night show, but y'all, I was tired. And y'all know I've been consistent. So forgive me if you were looking for me, but yes, that's the reason. Rilla says, wow, there's a play. Yes, it's a stage play. There's some singing involved. So I don't know if you would consider it a musical stage play combination or whatever. I guess stage play, because even Tyler Perry plays have some singing in it. So beautifully done, beautifully casted. The original Jason is Jason, so Alan Payne. Eva, the model Eva, from America's Next Top Model and from Real Housewives and, you know, from Ricky Smiley Morning Show and all of that. Was she on Ricky Smiley? Not the morning show, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Eva, she plays Lyric. She did a good job too. The original Alonzo, played by Tretch from Naughty by Nature. Is it Tretch? Yeah. So he did a great job. Tyron Turner from Menace to Society plays Joshua. Now he did a good job, but can't nobody play crazy like is it Boheme? What's his name? Oh, let me look up his name. Y'all know I'll be like, put some respect on people's names. He one of them actors that you don't always know his name, but you definitely know his face. Sometimes people call him the evil the evil Dave Chappelle. Yeah, Bokeem Woodbine. So Tyron Turner did a great job, but he's not Bokeem Woodbine. K. Michelle plays Marty. And there's some other, the guy, what's his name? Let me put some respect on his name too. Y'all bear with me. His name is it Lawrence? Lawrence Hilton Jacobs. He played Joe Jackson in The American Dream. So he played Mad Dog, which was formerly played by Forrest Whitaker. And then there was, you know, a couple other actors. The guy who plays Eddie Griffin's part, he did a great job. He had Eddie Griffin's tone, cadence, the aesthetics. It was a really, really good production. I've been to some plays. This, you know, I ain't gonna, all I'm saying, let me just not even say that. It was a great production. The lighting, the stage set, the sound, the flow, it was definitely on. Oh, I'm sorry. I see you. You told me what his name was in the comments. Like I said, this dang on StreamYard has this big old share your referral link sign right over my comments, and I can't get rid of it. I don't know why it started to do that, but it's blocking my comments. Let's see what you said. Oh, they got a few stars in that joint. Yes. So great audio, great stage production, sets, the flow of it. The music wasn't cheesy. It wasn't like, you know, sometimes musicals can be a little corny, but it was like, it flowed really, really well. And I want to give a special recognition to K. Michelle. She did a really good job as Marty, but there's a part where she's, you know, in the scene in the movie where Lyric is telling Marty about how her and Jason were in the meadow at the bayou, and they, you know, they made love, and he washed her feet and all of these beautiful things that they experienced on this date. And Marty is kind of like, oh, you know, you done made love, and she's eating up the story that Lyric is telling her, but she's also, as Lyric is saying, you could have the same things. You could have a man wash your feet and love on you and be gentle with you as well. And she's like, no, you know, I have Alonzo, which is Lyric's brother, and Lyric know her brother ain't about nothing. But Marty feels like that's all she can get. They in the hood. That's the life that she lives. That's the options that she has, and she gonna stick with her Alonzo. So in the stage play, Eva says something to her like, you know, you can't try to raise up a boy into a grown ass man. And so cue the music, and K. Michelle goes into like a slow down version of Can't Raise a Man. That, I got chills just now. That woman sang that song flat footed, no auto tune, projected voice, beautifully done. Like the emotion, oh, it was just, she did that. And it just had me, it definitely brought me to tears. I was, with all these things going on with the video, the viral interview of mine, and just different things coming up from my past and things that I've been through. In that moment, it was a lot that was coming up. And I've been, I'm preparing and starting to write my book about my memoir or things that I've been through in my life. So of course there's going to be a lot of things that come up as I tap into certain memories. But I also feel like the book and my story can and should be made into a movie. And so as she was singing, I was just like, certain parts of my life was just playing out, and it just was like an exchange of energy. And I wasn't boo-hoo crying, but some tears came out. I was feeling the performance. She did an amazing job. Absolutely amazing. Alonzo wasn't hardly washing no feet. He sure wasn't. All he cared about was knocking the boots. He was not romantic. He was a hood nigga through and through. Yeah, Kay can sing that ass off. She sure can. She's really in her lane with the country music, because she's been talking about, doing country, and she went to college on a yodeling scholarship and all of that. So her voice is really good in the country music sector as well. But I'm an R&B lover, so she can sing whatever genre she sings. But we couldn't record because nobody wants the stage play to be ruined. So I couldn't record her performance, but just being there in that energy and the way she did that, chef kiss, absolutely. So that was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. I like stage plays. I like musicals and things like that. So the venue was really nice too. It was at Cobb Energy Center. So I live in Cobb County, so I always love an event that's in my neck of the woods, literally. So it wasn't too far of a drive. The venue was really pretty. Because we got our tickets last minute, we was up there. We weren't in the all the way top back nosebleeds, but we were up there. But it was still, we were still able to see, and it was nice. I gotta check out, see what else is going on, because I loved it. I thought they did a great job. Because sometimes movies don't translate well with stage plays either, but they did really good. Kept it true to the movie and the script. She did pop up at the end of the movie. Like, maybe I shouldn't spoil the play. Y'all go watch it. Go see if it comes in your town, okay? In your city. Shout out to Ralphie Boy 28 on Instagram, says they can't wait to read my book. Thank you. I'm working on it. And again, with working on that, tapping into certain memories. The memories are there, but just trying to figure out the structure of everything and how I want to share the story. And yeah, it is a lot, but I feel like it's the right time. I won't get into everything, but I've definitely had to have some conversations with some people. And also with all of this comes some negative energy as well that I'm rebuking. But just know that anything that you hear me say is 100% the truth. I don't have to embellish or emphasize or add on anything to my story, and I benefit nothing from getting on the internet lying. So that's that on that. Moving right along. Again, it is National Stress Awareness Month. So I wanted to talk about some things today when it comes to stress awareness and stress management. So my tip of the day is getting outside in nature and moving your body. You could do both together, or you can do them both separately. But to de-stress, I can't stress enough how powerful it is to get yourself into nature when you are stressed, overwhelmed, have anxiety, depressed, all of the things. Like when we have that old Negro spiritual, gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside. It's a real thing. So lay down your burdens down by the riverside. You can physically or energetically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally do that. I have been at like spiritual healing retreats where we literally wrote down certain things that we were trying to release, and we wrote down things that we we're trying to manifest as well. Give it to the river, literally. Let me address Ralphie Boy 28 says, Amen. It should be a therapy session and learning lesson. Absolutely. It's gonna be therapy for me as well. But it's also because I am a life coach and because my story and my journey has created so many opportunities for me to learn and grow from. I do want to share that with others as well. And if people are looking for the book to just be a drag session of my ex, it's not going to be that. The truth is going to, the truth is the truth. So the truth is not always pretty. And there's a lot of things that happen that were extremely rough and ugly and tough. And there'll have to be trigger warnings on a lot of things. But he was also a human, a whole human with his own story. And there'll be some compassion. Hopefully people will be able to have some compassion for certain things and understand people as well, like to be able to lend grace to people. And to really, it's going to be about a lot of awareness when it comes to inner child and people's story and what leads them to do certain things, good, bad, and ugly. So I really am going to be putting a lot of energy and emotion and truth and everything into this book. So I really hope that people receive it well. Hey girl, hey. My cousin Zakia _3 has entered the building. I love the skit that you just posted, Hunty. Absolutely. If you all are on IG right now, or if you hear me, and go follow my cousin Zakia _3. She does skits. She's an actress, a model, a wonderful mother, an all around just baddie, and she is doing her thing, doing her big one. She has got some other upcoming things coming up too, so stay tuned and make sure you tap in. If you need anybody to do some content for you, you want to do some brand collaborations, you got some products that you want to, get her to promote, tap in and see what the price is. Okay. Yes, realist. It is Stress Awareness Month. How do you not? You must have been late on the show the past episodes because I've been talking about this all month of April. But yes, definitely everyone can relate to dealing with stress one way or another. Absolutely. So my stress tip of the day is definitely to get outside, lay down your burdens down by the riverside, or just take a walk. When you are out in nature, when you're present, because sometimes we get outside and we want to still be on our phones, or even if we're walking with other people, we're spending all the time talking and yapping, or we got our headphones on and we're listening to music, which those are all things that you can do. I love a good walk in conversation. I love a good walk with music. I love a good walk in, maybe I'm on my phone, but maybe I'm getting my steps in while I'm doing that. But take some time to actually just be in nature, walk, sit, to literally listen to the birds. Look at the squirrels. Look at the squirrels, y'all. The squirrels have no worries. They literally chase each other around. They frolic. They go and get their food. They run up and down the trees. They on the tightrope. They're an acrobatic master, master of acrobats. They are just free and just they're just having a ball. They literally have no worries. The only thing that they have to worry about is traffic. But when they're in their element, they are just free and they're having fun and they're in community. They're with their fellow squirrels. They're taking care of their babies. They just doing what they're supposed to be doing. The birds. Listen to the songs. Bird watching has become one of my favorite hobbies. I can identify some birds by their sound. Definitely cardinals and doves. There's so many different types of birds. Just paying attention to them, you start feeling cool when you can identify the name of a bird by looking at them or hearing them. They are totally in alignment with nature. They wake up when the sun set. It's a little off because sometimes they be out there chirping, hey, the sun is still down, go to sleep now. But they are in alignment for the most part. They're chirping, they're happy, they're singing, they're communicating. They're doing what they need to do in flow. They work, they're going out. If you've ever had the joy of seeing a bird's nest right outside your window, we've had bird's nest right outside the kitchen window a few times, and just seeing how masterful everything is. These birds literally create and weave the perfect basket from sticks and debris and all of these things. And just, it's a perfect design. This design is propped up in a damn bush or a tree, and they know that it's not going to fall. They know that it's going to be able to hold their weight and their children's weight. You see the mama bird preparing and nesting to lay her eggs. And then they lay their eggs and they do what they have to do to keep their eggs warm, to keep their eggs protected. And they are doing this. And sometimes you'll see the papa bird coming and feeding the mama bird. It's a family, it's a system. And then when those babies hatch, the little birds hatch, the mama is working nonstop. You see the mama going, she's finding worms and bugs, she's coming back, she's giving each bird a little bit of it. And then you'll see even the waste come out of their little bottoms, and the mama will grab it with her beak and throw it out of the the nest, so their nest won't get filled with waste. Like, they just on a flow, they're on a system. And then once they're protecting their babies when it's cold, when it's raining, they'll literally fluff up their feathers and protect their babies. And then once the babies are old enough and the mama realizes, okay, it's time, she knows how to push them out of the nest when she knows that they're capable of flying, but they may be a little nervous, and they have to get it. They have to fly. They have to learn how to fly. And so just literally just paying attention to nature and how in alignment it is. And so that kind of grounds you and reminds you that, get back on your flow, get back on your system in alignment, and find out what works for you in your life. Because all these parts of nature are just, they're in flow, they're in alignment. The trees, they shed when it's supposed to shed in the fall. They sleep, everything sleep, everything looks dead. It's hibernating, and then in the spring it blooms, it blossoms, it flourishes all through the summer, and it does what it needs to do. What are we doing? How do we get back on track and in alignment? Let me look at these comments. I hate that this big old thing is in front of this. I wish y'all could see what I see. Squirrels do be chilling and living. They be living their best lives. I love that creator who makes houses and talks to his little squirrels and stuff, because my mom is definitely a squirrel lover. She feeds them nuts and stuff, and she has her own little call where she go out there and call them when their nuts and their fresh water is out there. And they love it. They love it. Lordy, I wish I could take this thing off. You multitask and be in and out so much you miss when you brought it. Oh, yeah. It's definitely early on in the show. But yes, so the squirrels, the birds, listening to just the sounds, the wind, the everything, even the cars and the traffic, everything just keeps you grounded. And then, of course, grounding, go outside, touch grass, put your feet in the grass, go to the beach, put your feet in the sand, walk barefoot and ground yourself, hug a tree. Who would have thought that I would have grown up to be a tree hugger? But check the tree, make sure there's not no ants and spiders on it now, and just hug you a tree and allow it to ground you. And sometimes even when it's raining, not thunderstorming or out there crazy, but like, dance in the rain, enjoy nature, feel free. A rainbow walk is another thing. I teach the youth this as well, but it's helpful for anxiety and just bringing you back to the present moment and being centered. When you're walking, you can either choose every color of the rainbow where you're like, okay, I want to find something red, then orange, then yellow, then green, then blue, then um, indigo, violet. Or you could choose one color and take a walk and find everything that you can find under that color. So I've done both. I kind of like choosing one color because it keeps you focused in the present moment because you're looking for this. If you're looking for everything that's yellow, you're like, oh, there's a yellow bush or there's a yellow door. There's, so it just keeps you observant and present. So I would just say get into nature to relieve some stress. Always, take it to the water, all the elements. Enjoy that. And then moving your body. Whatever that looks like for you. Typically when people hear that, they may think exercise. And that's, of course, cardio, working out, doing what you need to do to move your body. But that can also look like dance. That can also look like hula hooping. That can also look like just, shaking it out. One of the facilitators of the healing retreat that I went to, he was talking to us about the book, The Body Keeps Score, and how we literally, hold stress into our bodies as well. And he was talking about using an example about how if a duck or something, if something happens to a duck that throws it off, like startles them, or maybe they get into a fight or whatever with another duck, they instantly just literally start shaking their whole body, all their feathers and everything. They shake it out, and then it calms and regulates their nervous system. And we are similar to that. Like if we have some type of trauma, physical trauma, emotional, mental trauma, we don't do that. We don't shake it out and release all of that energy, so it gets stored somewhere. So again, having all of that negative energy or that traumatic energy stored in our bodies, that leads to physical manifestations of illness and ailments. So we have to find ways to release that. I love a good hula hoop. I haven't been hula hooping lately, but I got to get back into it. I love hula hooping. I love dancing. And speaking of dancing, and let me acknowledge, Zakia said, girl, you know how we are. Thank you about her skit. Y'all go check her skit out. And JC Deeper, or is it Depper? JC Depper says a good walk and talk. Yeah, a good walk and talk is always good. Speaking of dancing, there is a challenge going on around these internet streets with Sierra. Y'all know I love me some CC. I talked last week about how sexy her video is to Ecstasy. She has a new single called Ecstasy. The video is super sexy. And she's now doing a challenge where you dance, you do a little chair dance. You lean over the chair, you have your hands on the seat of the chair, and your thighs are propped up on the back of the chair, and you're moving your legs like this. It's sexy or whatever. So I decided, no, my cousin decided she wanted to call out her sisters on Facebook to embark on this challenge. And my aunt tagged me and my mom to be in the challenge as well. So I was up late. I think it was Saturday night. Might have been Friday night. I don't know. But I was up late. And I was like, let me try to see if I could do this. So I tried it. The outfit that I had on wasn't very cute. It was just like a little moo-moo around the house. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll record it and I'll submit my little part. So I did it again. I ain't really like the angle. No, the outfit that I put on, it was too much booty showing. So I was like, okay, let me put on, I don't have the one that I had on in here, but I put on the turquoise version of this to cover up my booty. And then I got a good angle, but then I was like, I don't really like this outfit. So I went and put on a different outfit. And I was like, okay, I'm feeling this. I did a little dance, sexy, boom, do the chair thing. Every time I was recording it, it was cutting me off. So you couldn't see my full body. So I would have done it again with a better angle. But the chair that I was using, it's a folding chair. The challenge is with a folding chair, but it was so thin, damn near, not razor thin, but very thin. I'm a solid girl. So I think I underestimated all these pounds that I was putting on the thin folding chair. And when I was doing it, my thighs were like, the indentation was in my thighs, and I could feel all these lumps in my thighs. I said, ooh, I done messed up. It was so painful. So I woke up the next day with big, red, swollen thighs. And today they're black and blue. So I would just say, proceed with caution when you're doing the Sierra challenge. Make sure you get you a make sure you get you a chair that got a little cushion on it or a little thickness, because the pounds, you ain't not even be as thick as me. I ain't saying I'm not all that thick, but I'm solid. Let me see if I can show y'all the picture of my thighs. And I posted the video under my cousin's post on Facebook. I did not post it. I posted it on my story too. But if you ain't see it, if you ain't following me on Instagram, you ain't see it. I don't know if I'm gonna post a reel. So these are my thighs the day after. And today, you can't even see it, but they're black and blue. So I got something to do next week, and I want to wear some shorts. So hopefully it clears up, but I don't know. Sierra didn't tell me that. She didn't say that was going to happen. Right. The Sierra challenge going to get somebody her facts. Proceed with caution, ladies. But anyway, it was fun. I enjoyed it, and it made me feel sexy, and I had a good time. I love a good dance number, a good challenge. I also did another challenge that Sierra put up a long time ago during the pandemic. It was you have this little scarf tied around your waist, and you have a bottle of liquor on your head, and you basically, you dropping it low and you're whining. And I did that too. I ended up taking it down after a while, but yeah. I be participating in the Sierra challenges. So anyway, y'all, I wanted to talk briefly because we're almost at 40 minutes, and I want to get into all the subjects. So we done talked about this woman at least 3 times on this show already. The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I've been watching Real Housewives since season 1. This season is giving a little bit more love and hip hop vibes. And possibly because of the lady that we were talking about tonight, Brit Eady. Y'all know there was a big old thing with her and Kenya not really getting along. She felt a way about Kenya, kind of not really seeming like she fooled with her like that. Kenya said something she didn't like. She brought up the fact that she had pistols and whips, and she keep a pistol in her purse, doing too much. And then Kenya used her own grand opening for her new hair spa to expose Brit Eady's graphic and vulgar images, which I don't think it was right for either one of them to do that. I think Kenya definitely shouldn't have used her own event to do that. And Brit was overreacting, and she shouldn't have been violent or given threats. But what I wanted to talk about today is on this yesterday's episode, one of the cast members had a brunch for Brit to just support her. They had already pretty much determined that they weren't going to be shooting with Kenya anymore for the rest of the season. So she wanted to do a brunch for Brit to just show support for her and all the things that had happened. So in attendance, let me get these folks' names, honey, because I don't be knowing everybody's names. It's one lady in particular who I want to talk about that I don't know her name, so let me put some respect on her name, honey. Excuse me. Okay, her name is Kelly. So it was Kelly that threw the events. And in attendance of this brunch was Portia was sick, so she couldn't come. But Drew Sidora, Angela Oakley, Shamia Morton, and then of course Brit Eady was the guest of honor. And at the event, when Brit sat down, they were basically asking her how she was feeling about everything, what were her thoughts. And she was saying that she was possibly facing her license being revoked, her insurance license being uh not canceled, but what is it? Her basically revoked. That's not the word I'm looking for. But basically losing her license. She was possibly going to lose her license. So Angela Oakley, she said that she's a licensed, I don't know what she said. She was like a licensed, she was in the real estate field. I don't know if she said mortgage broker, but she said something like licensed, what is it? Inspector and something else. I don't remember. Don't quote me on that. So she basically just asked Brit, how are you going to lose your license? And immediately Brit went into defense mode and like super aggressive, turning up like she'd been doing on Kenya. And she's like, read the room. Why are you asking me that? Or have you not been paying attention? Read the motherfucking room. And I'm just like, whoa, Nelly. Calm down. It's not that deep. Again, you're overreacting again. But then it also makes me think, why is she overreacting like that? Because it definitely was a valid question, because if your pictures and your explicit vulgar pictures from your past were exposed, you would be a victim in that case, and that would be completely out of your control. So why would your license be suspended, or why would you lose your license based on that? So it was a valid question for Angela to ask, but for whatever reason it triggered something in her and she really got offended and started going crazy. So I know she was talking to her mother in the episode about like certain experiences she had with girls and, just feeling a type of way about certain things that she dealt with when she was younger. So it makes me wonder if she just doesn't feel seen or heard, or if she feels like people don't have her back, if that's the real reaction. Because I think she kind of got on guard instantly when she found out that the ladies that were at brunch had already reached out to Kenya. So she's kind of feeling like, well, I'm the one that's, been exposed and that possibly may lose my license. So why are you all reaching out to her to get her side of the story and see how she feels? But these ladies that were at the brunch are friends with Kenya. So that would be completely normal for them to do. And that doesn't mean that they can't be friends with her as well. But from the moment she heard that they had checked on Kenya, she immediately, you can see her body language change. So then when the question was asked, why would you be losing your license? She instantly was triggered. So I think that all of it boils down to childhood, y'all. It all goes back to certain experiences that you have, which create, trauma responses. So if she doesn't feel seen or heard or understood or supported, and if that's something that she experienced as a child, then it makes sense of why she's popping off like that. Yeah, they have been coming on forever. Facts. So some of the OGs are still there, here and there. We need to bring back Nene. I don't know if she'll ever be able to come back because she's had beef with Bravo. Phaedra will be back soon. I'm gonna see how Phaedra is on the show. I don't know. We'll see. It's been a while since she's been on. She's not allowed to be on when Candy is on, and this is the first season since season 2 that Candy took a break. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think, from a coaching perspective and just from a woman's perspective, I do think Brit needs some healing when it comes to whatever she's feeling, if she's not feeling supported or understood or accepted in the group, because a lot of it seems like, I just feel like she automatically came in. We talked about that last week, like someone, I think it was Portia, that mentioned she seemed to have had a preconceived notion about how Kenya is. Basically, we all watched Kenya over the years. We know she can read folks. We know that she goes toe to toe with people. So if you already have this preconceived notion, you kind of have a chip on your shoulder, so that anything that happens, any type of interaction you have with this person, you already have made it up in your mind who they are and how they are. So you already have a game plan on, oh, she better not come over here with that because I'm not the one or the two, and this ain't that. So you just rah, 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 and it ain't even that deep. Like everything somebody says, you're automatically taking offense. So I think that, not having a preconceived notion on people and getting to know people through your own experience and your own lens is definitely helpful. And then also healing those childhood wounds when it comes to dealing with other women, because she's had history of not getting along with other women or young ladies that she's been in school with. So that's always important. It's going to definitely shape the way you get along with women and how your relationships are as an adult. So it could, also can go boil down to a mother wound when it comes to how you get along with women. I noticed that when she talked with her mom, she said that her mom was very supportive or whatever, and it may just be her personality, but her mom seemed very dry and cold, or just very flat, like flat personality when she was crying and talking to her. And her husband seems that way as well, because even when all of the news came out about Kenya exposing her at this event, she was very emotional about it and very tearful, and her husband seemed unfazed. Now, he kind of seems that way in every scene. I don't know if he's used to being on the show yet, or if he's just that type of dude that's very nonchalant, but it just gave, I really don't give a damn that you over there crying, but since you are and we're on camera, let me give you a little hug. But I don't know. I don't know them folks. So I would just say, definitely some healing needed there. And you gotta just, y'all gotta get them chips off your shoulder. I think some people, we've all experienced it. If we've healed from it, maybe. But sometimes you have a chip on your shoulder. You have a view of somebody based on what somebody been told you or what you've seen, and they may not even be like that. So just be careful of how you judge certain situations. I also wanted to talk about, let me get a little sip. They had the first weekend of Coachella this past weekend. So it was a lot of celebrities out. I saw a lot of great performances. One thing I did see that was going viral over the weekend was Chris Brown and Karrueche. I had to say it in Chris Brown's voice. But Karrueche and Chris Brown saw each other out, and they had a little interaction. They had a little kiki. She was smiling and seeming very friendly with him. He was laughing, sounding like he was, or seeming like he was maybe cracking some jokes. There was some looks, whatever. And everybody starts getting in an uproar, feeling like, ooh, they look like they ready to spin the block. If Nelly and Ashanti can do it, they can do it too. They're all in Karrueche's comments, telling her, girl, forgive him. We don't mind. We will understand. Get your man back. I see y'all. All of these things. And I don't know whether or not they planning on getting back together or if she's open to it. But I personally don't feel like that's the case. Everybody was saying the way that she was smiling and looking was like, um, like she was open to rekindling. But I didn't get that. She has done her work to heal and move forward, and she's in a great place where she can be cordial and friendly with her ex. Because again, like, I'll bring it back to my own situation. We can have some of the worst situations with our exes. It can be terrible things that can occur. Like, there was rumors that maybe he might have been physically abusive to her, controlling, not really want to let go of the relationship, maybe a little bit of stalking, harassment, all these things that we've heard about their relationship. And then, of course, he cheated on her to have his first child. But there were parts of him that she loved at one point, that she admired, that she fell in love with. And I feel like sometimes when you do your own work, when you move forward from a relationship, when you forgive, when you accept the things that have happened, when you've um, developed your sense of self-worth and your confidence, and you really feel grounded in who you are, and what you experience is now a lesson and it's no longer as painful as it once was, you're able to tap back into those things that you liked about a person enough to be able to say, I can speak to you, I can talk to you, we can laugh, because there's inside jokes and different things that come along with relationships. So I can accept your humor or your conversation. I can hug you, I can speak to you. And I'm so far removed from whatever it is that we had, the good, bad, or the ugly, that I'm okay with that. So to me, that's what it was giving for me. She's moved on, and she can be cool with her ex. Hey, Chris, hey, laughter. This man, when she first found out about him having his little girl royalty, she made it clear that that was a deal breaker for her. As someone who, y'all seen it, I've been cheated on, and somebody had a child on me, and I do not recommend. I'm gonna say, if you can forgive, and you truly can forgive, and you can let it go and move forward, as long as you're not taking it out on the child is innocent. If you feel like your relationship is strong enough for you all to overcome that situation, and be a family together with the co-parenting the new baby, kudos. But if you're not able to handle that, if you're not able to truly forgive, if you're not able to separate your feelings from how you treat that baby, if you're not getting along with the other person that had the baby, and it's going to be a lot of unnecessary drama, I strongly recommend that you just do like Karrueche and let that be your deal breaker and move forward with your life. Because I know when I experienced it, I want to say I forgave, but not really. I just dealt with it, and it was very difficult. It was very painful. It was very, like, it took me down a rabbit hole that I didn't want to go down. It made me very angry, bitter, resentful, hate. Like, I've never really experienced hating somebody, but I think I did then. And that's not like me. I don't operate like that. I love people, even those that I don't really deal with like that. Sending you love, whatever. I don't have no hate in my heart. But during that time, I did. And if you can't handle that type of betrayal, or that type of um, infidelity, do like Karrueche and move on, move forward, know yourself. So I commend her on allowing herself to have a boundary and a deal breaker and moving forward. So now he don't have just one child. He has 3 by 3 different women. So if she still has that certain set of standards, then I don't see them spinning the block. But you never know, honey. Maybe she got out there and said, hey, ain't nothing else out here. I'm a rekindle, but it's not giving that to me. I don't know. Y'all tell me, because when I see my exes, the ones that are alive and well, I can speak and talk and have a good time. The guys that I've talked to, I can talk to you on the phone and have a conversation. I can give you advice about the new woman that you're with. It's nothing, because I'm far removed from that. But y'all tell me how you would handle that. Seeing your ex. Are you able to be cordial with your ex? Are you a spin the block type person? Y'all let me know. But anyway, speaking of coaching, speaking of, holding space for people, if you are on your journey of healing, self-love, self-discovery, or if you are looking to have someone hold space for you as you talk about your ideas, your gifts that you have that you may not know what to do with, you can always book a session with me. I recommend that if you want coaching sessions for healing, self-love, self-discovery, relationship, intentional dating, those type of things, you either enroll in a course that's already designed for that. We have One Single Step at a Time. It's a 6-week course. It's all about healing. You have exercises. It's completely guided, and you get free weekly coaching during the duration of the 6 weeks. Over the duration of the 6 weeks, it also comes with a free guided journal, How to Beat Single. There are now 2 options. This one looks a little bit more masculine. So I did redesign the cover, and I'll be updating my website with that. I just want to get my physical copy so I can make sure it looks good before I put it on my website. But it's available on Amazon if you want to get it. You just type my name in and you can find it, Osha Cerese, on Amazon. And then we have 5 Ways in 5 Days. That's my self-love program. It's all about teaching you how to utilize your 5 love languages into your daily acts of self-love and self-care. And it also teaches you how to uncover any blockages you may have for giving and receiving love. So that's a great option for you. You can get it done in as little as 5 days, hence the name, 5 Ways in 5 Days. The 5 ways are the 5 love languages, or you have up to 60 days to complete. It is self-paced, but it's guided, but it's self-paced. And it comes with 1 free coaching session. Then, you can always just go ahead and buy a journal if you just want to do the work without the coaching and the guidance. And if you want to just get a coaching session in, or you want to schedule weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, quarterly coaching sessions without being in a course, you can always do that as well. Just book a discovery call if you are wanting to work with me, but you don't know where to start or what to do. Just book a discovery call. It's free. Strategy session is what I recommend if you have some ideas or some gifts that you want to utilize or monetize. You want to figure out how you can make some coins off these gifts you have. I got you. Strategy session. And if you visit my website as well, and you are a single, a hopeful romantic, an intentional dater looking for love in 2025, make sure you are on the Intentional Love Collective. There's a tab there. You fill out the database, what it is, because some people be confused, like, okay, I'm in, what do I do now? You wait. Allow me to, I'm building the database, and I have lots of events coming soon. So when I look at my database and I see the type of event it is, and I see the type of people that are in the database, I'm going to invite you based on if you're in alignment with the preferences, the desires, the values, and the standards that are listed with the other people, so I can have like-minded people at these events. If there's an opportunity where I see, oh, your description aligns perfectly with this person's description, you all may, I may reach out to you to try to match make you. The list is mostly people in the Atlanta metro area because that's where I reside. That's where most of my events will be right now. But we have some people in New York and even other countries and other cities as well. So if you're into long distance relationships, which that is a question on the form, you can possibly find love there as well. Don't limit yourself. If you feel like I'm not in Atlanta, maybe I shouldn't do it, because there are people that are open to long distance. So that's that on that. What else I got coming up? I got some events that I'm going to be announcing soon. No later than Friday, you will know when the next event is. It's already planned, but I got to get the flyer created and the landing page and all the things. So prepare for that. And let me give y'all some journaling prompts to take with you on this evening. The first one is, what are 3 ways you can use nature to support your mental or emotional well-being this week? What are 3 ways you can use nature to support your mental or emotional well-being this week? And what does movement look like for you that feels nourishing and not punishing? So I told y'all, movement, sometimes we automatically think working out, lifting weights, doing cardio, doing all the hard stuff. But what else can you do to move your body to make you feel poured into and nourished? Like I said, I love dancing. I love hula hooping. I love yoga as well. I've been slacking on my yoga, y'all, just to give you an update. I'm gonna keep myself accountable. I have not been doing my yoga like I should. Another 2 journaling prompts I'm gonna give you. Have you ever reacted strongly in a moment when you really just wanted to be heard? What did you need in that moment? So again, it's a reflection question of, have you ever reacted strongly in a moment when you really just wanted to be heard, and what did you need in that moment? And then your final journaling prompt of the evening is there an ex or a past connection that you're still holding emotional energy around? What would healing look like in that situation? Now, if my friend sees this, I'm not calling you out by name, but this question reminds me of something we spoke about recently. They were holding on to it, they're in the middle of a breakup and they were holding on to the woman's lingerie because they felt like, I purchased this lingerie, what you finna do with it? Wear it in front of the next man? So I was letting them know that, okay, so what you gonna do with it? And they were saying something about possibly manifesting their next woman to be able to fit these things. No, throw it away. Burn it, toss it, get rid of it. It's holding energy, not just physical energy, but emotional energy as well. That is tied into, that past ex. So it doesn't have to be something tangible when it comes to if you're holding emotional energy around something. It could be, just a connection, a soul tie, some type of unhealthy attachment, some type of memory or history, like, oh, we've been together for all this time, oh, our families get along, whatever that is, what is holding you or tying you to this old connection or ex. And if it's something physical, sometimes you got to throw things out. Now, with my ex-husband, I had a lot of his things after he passed away, suits and clothes and hats and shoes and art, because he was an artist. And, it took me some years and letters, y'all heard me talk about them penitentiary promises, writing letters back and forth. So I didn't have a lot of my letters. No, I didn't have a lot of his letters to me. I had a lot of my letters to him because after he passed away, I went to his house to get some of his belongings and he had all of the letters that I had wrote to him. So I was holding on to that for a long time. And I did take pictures of the letters because I knew that I was going to write a book one day and I wanted to reference certain things that were spoken about in the letters, but I threw the physical letters away because they still had a certain scent on them. They had energy. They were holding a space. Paper, art, all of those things hold energy. His art, I had given most of his art to his kids, but a couple of pieces I gave to his best friend to hold on to. So, go through the things. Some men be holding on to women's panties. I had a hoodie of his. I sent that to his daughter. Like, I sent all his other clothes to his boys. So you just really have to purge some of those things physically, emotionally, spiritually that you're still holding on to. Another big one with breakups is mattresses. Mattresses are expensive now. But imagine all of that energy that is in that mattress where you are having your most intimate moments, you're sleeping together, you are building a bond in those mattresses. And then are you going to bring the next relationship into that mattress? And if you can't get rid of it, you can cleanse it, you can, smudge it, whatever you need to do. But the mattresses hold a lot of energy as well. So break free, y'all. But thank y'all for pulling up to the Osha Cerese Show. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you for everybody that has found me through the interview with JC Carter on the Hopeless Romantic Society. I appreciate your support and your encouragement and allowing me to share parts of my story that aren't as easy to share. I've talked about it before, but never really identified or specified who it was that I experienced that from. So that part has been a little bit of an internal battle for me, and especially trying to shield his loved ones, specifically his children, from certain information. But it's opened up a lot of healing and healthy conversations and things that it's time to, be open about. So a lot of conversations of healing and love and understanding and forgiveness are being had. And I appreciate those of you who are sharing your testimonies as well, based on what I shared and saying how you can relate or certain things that, you went through or making you feel strong enough to talk about certain things. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for encouraging me to get on this book and write it, because it's definitely been something that's been in my spirit for a long time. But I've just been procrastinating. So now's the time. So I appreciate y'all. And y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I will see y'all tomorrow. Turn your notifications on. Good